What first brought you out here? Like, I mean, I know the first time I saw you was, I mean, I'm sure you were around a lot longer than that, but the first time I saw you, I think was Floyd's last fight. That was the first time I saw you in camp.
Yeah, I've been around since I think I probably got out here like right before the Ortiz fight.
Okay.
You know? And I've been out here since, you know, I've been training. You know, what brought me out here, you know, I had people who was kind of already out here, you know, staying out here. You know, they was telling, you know, they knew some people who was around Floyd, and they was telling Floyd, they was telling those people like, hey, I got a family member that boxes, however, and you know, they was like, get him out here, you know, and bring him to the gym. When I got out here, I didn't go in no other gym. I came to this gym, and I just been here since. I fought amateur. A lot of people don't know I fought amateur at this gym for 2 years before I turned pro, because I wanted to make sure I was ready before I turned. You know, the professional games is nothing to play with. You can't play boxing. So I didn't want to. I respected it so much that I wanted to wait. You know, I wanted to wait till I was ready. I wanted to wait till I was fully mature. You know, and I was, and you know, you can't make kid mistakes, childish mistakes in boxing. So, like I said, I kind of wanted to make sure I was, as far as a grown man, ready for the next level.
Do you remember when Floyd first took notice of you?
Yeah, the first day Floyd actually like took notice to me. It was after he was training. I was training. It was a late night. It was after he was training. I was still in the gym. A lot of people. I was one of the only ones in the gym. He was sitting down watching TV on the couch. I had been working with his fighter DeAndre Lattimore. I was hitting the bag, and my cousin was in the front of the gym with them. They was watching the game or whatever. And you know, I was the only one hitting the bag, so he would hear me hitting the bag. So he came, he looked, and I guess him and my cousin was having words, joking or whatever. And he said something to me. He was like, "Oh, we gonna put you in the doghouse tomorrow." You know, that's when the doghouse had first started. He was like, it wasn't, the word wasn't as big.
Right.
He was like, "We're gonna put you in the doghouse tomorrow. You gonna get the doghouse work." And you know, he saw me hitting the bag, and the next day, you know, it's Floyd Mayweather. He have a million things on his mind. So I'm 18 years old. I'm thinking he not gonna remember what he told me.
Right. The
next day he come in the gym, you know, and I already worked out, you know, cause I'm thinking like he not serious. I already worked out. He come in the gym, and he look over at me. He look and he said, Oh, we gotta get somebody for this kid right here. This kid been talking a lot of he want that work. We gotta get somebody for him. So, you know, and I didn't back down, you know. You probably can't find it online, but the first time, you know, people, I think anybody probably ever seen me they showed me on 24/7. It was with me and Ishe had boxed. You know, he threw me in. Floyd threw me in there right away with Ishe Smith, you know, contender, you know,
right,
headed towards a title, you know, 20 pounds bigger than me, you know, but, you know,
and you still an amateur.
Yeah, I was still an amateur then, like I said, and that's why I've been working with amateurs since I was young. I was still an amateur then, and, you know, Floyd, he noted that day after we had worked, he was like, oh, okay, I like him, he got dog. Like, from me, he was like, he wasn't afraid. You know, he didn't back down, you know, and ever since then, the next day, he threw me in there again with somebody else, and I beat the shit out, I beat this kid. It was blood everywhere. I'm talking about it was bad. And Floyd was like, damn, he was like, okay, I see this kid can really fight. So then after that, from that point on, that's when the doghouse, it really became like, the doghouse thing became a ritual, something special, because I kind of started, me, Ishe, and them, we kind of started off. So whenever somebody would come to the gym, you know, throw Memphis in the doghouse, I was still fighting amateur, you know, and it didn't matter to me whether he was pro or not. You know, so like I think he liked the fact that I was a dog and I was never afraid to box anybody, and plus I can fight, so, you know, it just kind of, you know, carried on, and he been messing with me ever since.